Welcome to Garage Sales Unhinged.
where the characters are as quirky as the finds.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Jake.
Join us as we dive into the wild world of garage sales, yard sales, estate sales, and anywhere secondhand sales are happening.
From bizarre bargains to hilarious haggles.
You won't believe the stories we've got lined up.
Let's get unhinged.
This is
This is not a perfect
the high
podcast.
quality production people have come to expect from this podcast.
No, this isn't it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to disappoint.
This is the bar.
But also I feel like, the name of the podcast is Garage Sales Unhinged. That should not ring perfectionism at all.
You're right. You're right.
I know. I'm
well,
always right.
How often do you go into a secondhand situation and you go, but this isn't mint?
Right.
Right. So it's okay. Like conceptually, it makes sense that the quality of this production is what it is.
Are we having a therapy session now?
No,
Have you unpacked something?
no. I think it's like I feel better about this now.
Okay, good. Well, even though it's after the holidays, there was an article that came out on modernretail.com, or sorry, modernretail.co. The name of this title of this article, it's by Allison Smith. It's called The Year of Thriftmas. I can't say this. The Year of Thriftmas. Why secondhand gifts could finally go mainstream this holiday season. So Jake, there's been a lot of talk, if you listen to any type of news, about the economy, and groceries are more expensive, utilities more expensive, just across the world, life seems more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come into the holiday season and you want to buy gifts for people. Now, many moons ago, whenever I was trying to get out of debt, and I remember I told our mom, all of my nieces and nephews were little babies, they were kids. And I remember I told our mom, it's like, Mom, I'm not going to be able to afford Christmas this year. And our mother, she was appalled. Julie, you can get a little bit of something for everyone. I'm like, no, I'm not going to. So also this is a therapy session. So shout out to everyone of like setting healthy boundaries. And I can almost guarantee you, if I tell our mother this story, she's not going to remember that she was like, Julie, you have to get something for the kids. No, I don't. They ain't my kids. They don't live with me. And also those children, fine. All them children are fine. But that's whenever I started doing my famous lasagna dish for you and our brother Richie. So tell everyone.
I'm happy to step in here.
Yeah.
Julie, I don't know how long it's been, but for multiple years now, it's kind of like you come to expect Julie to create her lasagna dish. Sometimes it's vegetarian, sometimes it's not, but it's always delicious. And you'll get a big casserole thing of it. It's frozen like a solid, like bricks, cinder block with marinara in it. And you thaw it out. It comes with handy instructions written on marker on top. And it's fantastic. It's I guess the equivalent of somebody getting a fruitcake. It's seasonal,
but something you want.
But you actually want it, and you will enjoy it. It also will stop a bullet.
Yes,
and is it's probably classified as a construction material.
Yes, it is a heavy brick. It's also one of those things of honestly, I love making the lasagna. It's also a labor-intensive process of making this lasagna. So as I'm making it, I know I'm making it as a Christmas gift for family, and like there's a lot of labor of love that goes into it. And I'm going,
and hair.
I try to take the hair out.
I'm joking. There's never been a hair. Your lasagna's fantastic. I didn't mean to interrupt. I did, but
no. Now I'm thinking, like, has there ever been a hair? There might have been a hair. Anyway, hair and all, it's one of those things of whenever I was again trying to get out of debt, I could make a gift, and it was cheaper than me going to shop and buy something. And the whole idea behind Thriftmas, it's the same thing of, can I buy something that somebody will really want at a much lower price? And as I was reading this article, Allison Smith interviewed several people for the article, and one of them is an affluent female corporate lady. she could probably buy her, her relatives whatever she wanted for the holidays. What she ended up buying her mother-in-law, and if you ever have to buy something for an in-law, you want it to like stand out. You want it to be nice. And she ended up buying her an Hermes scarf that was vintage.
Wow.
So she bought it off of one of either the TheRealReal or Poshmark or something like that. But she ended up getting this scarf, and her mother-in-law loved it, absolutely loved it. And it was one of those things, like, it was a hard to find item. It was still a luxury piece. It wasn't nearly the price of brand new.
Right.
It was still several $100s, but the mother-in-law, like, she still wears it. She still talks about it to this day. And now it's been almost like a thing for that buyer of going, okay, well, next year I want to buy another vintage piece that I've been keeping an eye on and that type of thing. So Thriftmas is not just about saving money. And for a lot of people, it is. Whenever you can go to a thrift store and you buy something. And honestly, like, Jake, we were like, when we were kids, I know that our parents bought a lot of things off of layaway. Like, they set it aside, they go back, they pick it up later. And I knew what layaway was from a very early age.
I can remember the layaway desk.
Yeah.
At Walmart or Kmart or something like that.
Yeah.
And just looking forward to the time we could actually walk up to it, and now we get to take the thing home.
Yeah. It was fun. And
now the kids got Klarna and things like that. You're not even earning it.
Well, and as a kid, I don't think I would have noticed if something came in a box or not. If I gotten a new to me Barbie, I don't think I would have noticed that she wasn't in her box. She wasn't pristine.
Yeah.
I would have just thought,
Barbie.
I got another one. This is awesome.
Yeah, let's give it a haircut immediately.
Yeah. I never cut my Barbie's hair. You guys,
stay on topic.
You guys, I remember I had mom and dad get you and Richie Ken dolls so that you guys could play dolls with me. And what did you guys do with it? You took off his legs like Lieutenant Dan. I remember I found him under the bathroom sink one time, and it was like a massacre of like missing limbs.
Oh,
and it was just like the torso of Ken. And I'm like, no. And that, Jacob, I don't think oh my God, this is so much therapy.
Back. This is all fresh right now. It's happening live, everybody.
It is.
Wow.
But I remember just looking at that and knowing my brothers never want to play with me.
You're right.
So like I had to play G.I. Joes, because if I didn't, I was always going to be by myself.
We were just preparing you for what it would be like to grow up in a man's home.
Well, I did meet somebody the other day, and they were like, oh, do you have siblings? And I was like, yeah, 2 older brothers. And the guy kind of looked at me and goes, oh, you must be tough. And I was like, I will cut you.
Yeah.
He was like, I believe it. I'm like,
I honestly thought the direction you were going with the Barbie story from your childhood was a different one. I thought you were going to tell the story about the time our brother and I got on the roof of the house with your Barbie convertible.
I just want to reiterate, they did not include me.
No, you weren't involved in it. I just think it'd be.
Also, I wouldn't have let it happen.
Helped Dad at some point re-shingle the roofs, and we realized, oh, that's how you get on top of the house. And so we launched your Barbie convertible off the roof of the house. I don't know whether we had the presence of mind or not to go, oh no, Barbie found out she's pregnant, and then you like launch it, but
you guys also put firecrackers in it.
That's right. Well, we're aspiring filmmakers. Like cars, at some point in our cinematic history, cars would naturally explode as they're in the air. Before they hit the ground, they explode in the air. And that's how physics works. It's how it goes.
And I just wanted friends.
Yeah.
You guys were thinking about camera angles, and I was like, I just wanted a friend, and now I don't even have a Barbie convertible.
Wow. So you wouldn't have noticed that whether these things came in a box or not. It's just you folks like, hey, I got the thing.
Yeah, I got the thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing with Thriftmas, and I think, again, we live in a very consumer focused world where, you want to buy the brand new thing, the things that come out of the box and all that stuff. And some things, yes, I want to buy brand new. We've talked about it before. Yes, workout shoes, I want to buy brand new. I need good support. I'm middle aged, like I need good support for the
Right.
feet. Underwear, I would really like to have brand new underwear that have not seen the light of day for anybody else.
There is a market for used underwear, but I don't think anybody wants anything to do with it.
No, I'm not hurting to pay rent yet.
No.
Same thing with like swimsuit. I want a brand new swimsuit. I don't want to use swimsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Are you planning a garage sale, yard sale, or estate sale and need some help? Look no further than Garage Sale Supply. They provide top-notch resources and expert advice to help you host the perfect sale. From pricing tips to promotional strategies, they've got you covered. Visit GarageSaleSupply.com and make your next sale a success.
There's certain things out there, but I also think there's so much that we don't have to buy brand new. However, buying something secondhand sometimes requires a delay in the instant gratification that we are so accustomed to. So let's say that, let's say I want to buy a vintage Hermes scarf.
Okay.
Well, if there's not one that currently available on any of the sites that I go to that's for sale,
You're out of luck.
I'm out of luck in that moment. So I may have to wait and I have to stay on top of it. I may have to go to estate sales or vintage shops and stuff like that to find something that I want. And it's not like where today I can just go to any website, any store and buy something right then and there. But am I going to pay top dollar for it? Probably. But if I wait and do the thrifting the right way, I can pay less, but I just have to wait.
Right. It's kind of the counteracting balance that makes up secondhand. What you get in dollar savings, you're kind of paying for through some form of inconvenience.
Mm-hmm.
I could easily pay whatever I'm going to pay if I go online at Amazon or something and just do it that way. If I want to save some money, yeah, I got to invest some time and a little bit of energy, just kind of, hit the pavement or just click around a little bit more and find it. Yeah, that's the trade-off. I'm just curious, what do you think an Hermes scarf goes for?
Like brand new?
Yeah.
I think they go for about $1,000.
Good. I was thinking I was going to overestimate in my head at 600.
Well, let's look them up.
Yeah, we'll look them up right now. We're live research right now. Like
Also,
breaking news.
This is how I always do my research for this. Oh, okay. Well, I guess it also depends on the type of scarf you want. So they do have one currently on their website for $620.
I was close.
And then they also go upwards to about $1,500.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, and again, I will say, like, these are beautiful pieces of fabric.
But they're pieces of fabric.
Again, to each their own. We're not trying to.
Well, we kind of are.
Wait, I found one for $200.
Because to your point, groceries are expensive.
They are expensive. But again, like, whether you want to buy one new, which you can, and again, a lot of the vintage ones, they may sell for $400. You're still going to pay less, or if they were originally a $1,500 one, maybe they're $600 today. I don't know. But again, sometimes it's the needle in the haystack. It's the treasure that someone had found. It's also whenever you buy something like that, it is the thought that counts. Like someone really took into account what that other person would like and that type of thing. So again, am I going to buy a brand new one anytime soon? Probably not. But if someone wanted to gift me a beautiful vintage scarf, I would totally take it.
I got to tell you, these hints you're dropping are finding no purchase with me. I'll find you a piece of fabric. I'm not sure it'll be lovely.
But my birthday's coming up.
I've got some really great dish towels. But no, you're right. I think the thought being one of the things that counts. It's one thing like, everybody knows that the thoughtfulness of the gift, should mean a lot, meaningful, that I did something other than just keep that in mind as I was on Amazon or something. Oh, I
Yeah.
clicked it. The thing you had to overcome there was there was a pop-up ad, as opposed to I kept in mind something about you, and I didn't just think about it in the 20 minutes it took to find something that's been curated via algorithm. I went into the world in some way,
Yeah.
and you were there with me, in thought.
Yeah.
And that's part of the magic.
Well, and part of this article too, she talks about that the mindset's also turning of people are willing to accept a secondhand gift. Where I think before there was a stigma around it that, you only bought secondhand if you couldn't afford it. But now people are going, and again, to that, what you were just talking about, like you thought of me in that moment. And so whenever you gift someone a thrift find, then they're more likely to receive it in this day and age going, that is a really cool item. It could be a one of one. It could be a one of 100. It could be one of 10,000. Who knows?
Certainly
But
more
like,
unique. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things of like, oh yeah, anyone can go buy something brand new, but to find something secondhand that hey, my friend would love to have this and I gifted it for them, like that tends to bring a lot more meaning behind the gift versus just buying something brand new. In this article, I'm going to throw out a couple numbers too, because it's also talking about the business side of thrifting. So TheRealReal is a website that sells higher end used clothing and merchandise. They saw a volume surge this year compared to last year of 20%. So they're now up to $520 million in revenue. And then similarly, another platform called ThreadUp, similar type of business model. They are up 34% year over year.
Yeah, that's big.
So you're starting to see more of those types of things. And if anyone out there knows, like I love cookware, like platters, baking dishes, stuff like that. And a lot of these places are for clothing. I'm going, man, if someone was selling, if there was a platform that just focused on like kitchen vintage things, I would probably lose a lot of money on it.
Well, I'm curious. The article, does it go into explaining why this is becoming more of a trend? Is it saying it's strictly economic reasons for
Well, so there's a couple of reasons in here. It says whenever the tariffs were increased this year, a lot of people were nervous about not being able to buy the thing that they wanted to buy at the rate that they wanted to pay for it. So they started looking into the thrifting market for still really good quality items. People are trying to save money. They still want to try to, yes, people are trying to save money, but they still want a good value. And so even if, hey, I'm going to spend $500 on a gift, I still want that value to be better or higher than what I would have spent $500 on last year. Because if I spend $500 on something brand new this year, I might not see the same value in it as I did a year ago.
I feel like, I know we've talked about that aspect of things before, and it's one that I feel like there's so much more left to say about. That you buy something that was produced, sometime in the past, the quality, it retains just quality, not to say it retains value, because again, that's the point. Like it costs less to buy that thing than something new. So it might not retain the monetary resale value, but the quality is often head and shoulders. And so there is something to be said about stuff produced at a time before companies have been optimized to produce like a literal minimum viable product.
Yeah.
And like they figure out like what's the worst quality we can get away with, and we're just going to do that. I'm not sure. It'd be an interesting topic for us to talk about sometimes, like as to when that switch really started flipping. And I'm sure it was gradual.
Yeah.
And it's probably different times for different industries, but we can try to figure out at what point did it switch, because at some point the secondhand market is just going to be filled with stuff we currently see as flimsy and going to fall apart because it's brand new.
Yeah.
And is that going to make the actual monetary value of true, like things that are vintage now, is going to increase because there's going to be less quality option?
I mean, it could. One of the things in here also mentioned that, some people may have been keeping their eye on something that is made overseas. So one shopper was looking at a sweater that a cashmere sweater from a shop in the UK. And then whenever she went to try to buy it and she had to put in all of her information, they stopped shipping to the US.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's also the thing of, I can't get that item I wanted.
Right.
And so they had to pivot. But I think to your point, like at some point the value is there. And again, whenever we start pinching pennies across our budgets, because I'm spending more at the grocery store, I'm spending more doing other things that I don't have an opportunity to buy secondhand or something like that, then it's still like, well, I still want the same value because I'm accustomed to that value, but maybe I'm going to put in the effort to go and find it secondhand versus I'll just go to the store and buy it brand new because that's no longer an option in my budget or in my world.
So clearly one of the driving factors in Thriftmas becoming more of a thing is economic in nature,
Mm-hmm.
but two is sort of the spirit of the effort is more meaningful for the recipient and for the gift giver.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and again, if you never, this is also the other problem. If you never tell someone that you bought it secondhand, a lot of people, they're not going to know. But I like to, whenever someone's like, oh, I love that dress, I'm the type of person who goes, thanks, it has pockets. They didn't ask if it has pockets. I got to tell them of like, not only is it a great dress, but it has pockets. So if someone's like, oh, I like that thing you have, I'm the first person to say, thanks, I bought it $2 at a garage sale.
And so when you do, what reaction do you get when you say that? I mean, does anybody like hold their nose like, oh my God, I can't believe you would do that? Or, I mean, how are they reacting to that information?
Most of the time they're like, man, I wish I had known about, like, I think it's more of that treasure hunter thing of we're a bunch of archaeologists, right? Sitting in a smoky lounge, smoking our cigars, drinking our whiskey. Archaeologists do that, right?
I don't know that any where did you get that idea?
Indiana Jones.
He never even did that. I was about to say, that's not even in those films. What are you talking about?
Okay, well, just imagine a bunch of Indiana Jones.
I picture all professionals as drinking.
Yes, I do.
Otherwise, how do you get through it?
I mean, I'm not a professional, so I imagine that's what they do. I don't know. But yeah, it's more of like, oh, that's awesome. And then they usually tell me a story of a time that they went garage selling, estate selling, and found something as uniquely interesting to them as whatever I had. And then it just turns into like a story after story of garage selling.
So maybe is it possible that people are kind of overestimating a perceived stigma around secondhand?
Yeah, and that's what the article is talking about, that stigma is starting to go away.
Oh, so it acknowledges that that's been a thing.
Yes, yeah. She didn't go into like the research of when did that happen, but I think one, and here's the other thing too, Jake, I mentioned a lot of platforms where you can go and buy things secondhand. Those are becoming more and more mainstream and easier access for people to get to. The other thing is too, I also think, especially with the younger generation, and I hear people, moan and complain about the younger generation, but I'm going, they're figuring things out vastly differently and quicker than what older generations have. And they go to a lot of thrift stores and Goodwills and garage sale shopping, and they love it. That is part of them finding uniqueness to their personality. And so I feel like there's a shift in younger people leading the charge of secondhand shopping. There's more access to secondhand goods through platforms that are coming online. And then again, if people like me just shut up and I never said that came from a thrift store, no one would know that very thoughtful gift took me 2 weeks to find at any of those stores.
Well, that's what's interesting to me is at some point in our recent history, you would have to make like the split judgment. If somebody's like, oh, I love that thing you're wearing, where'd you get it? You'd have to make a split judgment. Do I tell them or do I not? And part of your factoring there is going, oh man, are they going to react negatively?
Yeah.
Whereas what you're telling me and what this article is pointing out now is like, you're actually missing, if you don't say those things, you're missing an opportunity because people are very much attracted to that fact.
Well, so I do a lot of public speaking engagements. I go to a lot of conferences, and my friends know now that at least one thing I wear every day at a conference or a speaking engagement, I bought secondhand. So now I make it a game with my friends. And I said, hey, afterwards, come up and tell me what you think I bought secondhand. And it is hilarious because they're going to be like, oh, it's the pants. I'm like, no, it wasn't the pants. And like, they'll go through and they're like, what was it? I was like, it's this necklace that I'm wearing. They're like, I wouldn't have known. Like, so I turn it into a game, but it's also in
So
this
that
thing.
they don't have to, like, it gives them something to get through your public comments. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, if they're going to zone out, we're going to play the Price is Right. What am I wearing that is secondhand? So, but anyway, I wanted to bring up this article about Thriftmas and how secondhand gifting is not really a faux pas anymore, but also being really considerate and thoughtful whenever you go out shopping. Don't just buy someone a broken plunger at Goodwill because it was there, unless there is a story or a joke behind it, then get it.
It's interesting. It's a topic I'd like to bring up in a later recording that we do. I think there was an article recently about kind of this phenomenon. I think from the research we've done and the stuff we've talked about, we don't really see it as a mystery necessarily, but this article is kind of going, what the heck is going on? Gen Alpha, like this really young set, are way into retro gaming devices. They don't want the new stuff. What gives? And people were pretty quick to point out, is like, if you're growing up, in the last handful of years, imagine what a trip it is to actually own something that you purchased.
Yeah.
You actually own it. It's not a subscription model, and it's not choked with advertising.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the appeal, perhaps, of older stuff, is that it hasn't been optimized.
Yeah.
And the market actually is counter to what a lot of businesses are seeking, is optimization. People want something that's not as sleek as all that.
Yeah.
And right now the future is in the past. In that respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Merry Thriftmas.
Merry Thriftmas, everyone. I mean, we're in January by now, but
Where we're at, it probably feels more like Christmas.
Yeah.
Temperature-wise, as opposed to Christmas itself, which
That's
is in
true.
like the 70s, I think.
That's true. Yeah. But wanted to bring this up and thought it was cool article.
Well, thank you for the article. I'm still just kind of gobsmacked by an Hermes scarf.
Well, you can always buy one for me vintage.
Probably not.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.